We are opening door 15 in our Christmas Advent calendar today, and I'm going to be joined by Natasha Clark, who is a powerhouse business mentor and subconscious coach known for her no-nonsense approach and magnetic energy. Specializing in simple soul-aligned strategies and subconscious reprogramming, Natasha helps ambitious female entrepreneurs smash through income ceilings, dissolve limiting beliefs, and scale their businesses with unshakable confidence. With a track record of transforming hundreds of women's businesses, guiding clients to six-figure breakthroughs by blending high-converting content strategies with powerful subconscious scripting and making business growth feel aligned and achievable, Natasha is on a mission to create a new wave of unapologetically confident, successful women entrepreneurs. And today we're going to be uncovering why affirmations simply don't work and using a simple technique will hack their subconscious mind into achieving anything they want. It's so good to have you back on the podcast.
I'm excited to be here, especially in your podcast studio.
I know.
I
look
love
at
it.
Because last year it was recording from the bedroom. It was only on audio. And do you know what? I manifested and put out there to the universe that the Christmas Advent Calendar podcast for season 2 was going to be done in a little studio. We were going to have a Christmas tree up.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. We were literally just talking off camera, weren't we, about just how much things can change in a year.
Oh my God.
And this is just evidence to it.
We've done it. We've done it.
You did it.
A little bit of support along the way. Okay. I'm really excited about today's podcast because I love an affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I love saying affirmations for evening scripts, morning scripts. The women in my world kind of eat them up.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me. How can we make
Mm-hmm.
them work and the world of subconscious?
Okay. I think I've definitely ruffled some feathers when I've said this, especially out on social media. People are like, what are they do? And I'm like, okay, let me explain. Affirmations alone don't work if you have never done any work on your belief system. So if you're new to this, okay, and you're literally in the mirror and you're going, I'm rich, I'm so successful, I make 100K a month, and you don't, what happens, the subconscious part of your brain filters through your RAS, which is your reticular activating system, and goes to find the evidence. So as you're in the mirror going, I'm rich, I can do this, your then RAS goes, no, you're not, because look at your bank account. No, you're not sold out because you only got 2 people into that group program, okay? So it will always find that evidence. Now, if you have done some work on your subconscious, and let's say it's like a muscle memory, you know, like when you've been to the gym, you've missed a little bit of time off and you've gone back. Yeah. It might be a little bit harder to get those abs back, but they're coming back way more quicker than someone that's never been to the gym before and lives on fast food diet. Okay. So when it comes to you hacking the subconscious, the best thing to do, and I love this when I teach this to my clients, is reframe it. So if you're saying to your brain, I am rich, that's a statement. What we want to change that, because the reason why we want to change it is add pressure. And what we want to do is come from a place of lightness. That's the best way to hack your subconscious. As soon as you put pressure on something, it's restricted. And it's like,
not safe.
No. And then your subconscious goes, alert, it's a threat, run.
Okay.
Whereas when you change it to a question, it's not going exclamation mark, that's it, I'm rich, and it's going to find the evidence of how you're not. It's then going, how? Because let's define rich, okay? In your head, you might be going, well, if my business hasn't made 6 figures, I'm not rich. Whereas when you say, wow, look, how am I rich? Your RAS will then go and find all the evidence of how you're rich. And we're not just talking monetary terms. We could be talking about rich in abundance of clients. You could be rich in abundance of followers, rich in love at home with your children. So it'll go and find all the evidence to support that. Then what happens with your subconscious, once it has that evidence of, it grows it. So something I like to say to my clients is, when you say you're going to do something, go and do it. As simple as if you say to me, okay, Tash, after this school run, I'm going to go home and have a cup of tea. Make sure you go home after that school run, you have a cup of tea. Because however small that is, that signals to your subconscious mind, she says what she says she's going to do. So when you say, I've got a goal to get my business to multiple 6 figures, it doesn't go, oh no, it will go, yeah, because Lisa says what she's going to do, she actually does. So what I want you to do is have a list of your affirmations out, and then I want you to reframe them with a question.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So give me an example of something that you say, or maybe one of your audience you hear a lot.
So we would use one, money flows easily into our world,
Okay.
or I am abundant and rich.
Okay. So let's use the I am abundant and rich. So instantly her subconscious is going to go, unless her subconscious understands what abundance is, which if you're new out the game, you won't.
Yeah.
So let's say I am rich. She is going to, her conscious is going to go, no, 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 you're not. And it's going to find all the evidence. So then what she needs to say is, wow, look at just how rich I am. How rich am I? Question mark. So then it will go to find all the evidence. So instead of looking at it as, I only made 5K this month, my goal was 15, it will then look, wow, I made 5K this month. And then it will look for, how come money flows to me so easily? And then it will look to your husband giving you £50 or a best friend saying, oh, I remembered I wanted to treat you to that massage and you were going to spend 150 on it. So it will look and it will find all the evidence to support that. So can you see? And then your subconscious thrives off evidence. Okay. Your RAS, his whole job is to filter through and it will go back to all your memories, all your stored emotions, even from when you were literally like 6, for good and for bad, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference. So it doesn't go, oh, we won't mention that because that's not going to help her get rich. It will go, you said you were going to get rich and look, this. And then you start going, yeah. Then it starts, and then you release endorphins. So it gives your body that hit. So it starts to go, this is safe. Whereas before, I am rich when you weren't, and you were looking for all the evidence of how you weren't rich, you felt restriction, you felt pressure. Why am I not here now? Can't believe. Then you start looking on social media. You're looking for that evidence. See, she's just made 10K in 2 days and I can't even make it in 2 months. And then you go down that lack loop and that spiral down. So we want to stop that and make it lighter. And it's as simple as adding questions to it. Reframe it. How am I so in love and loving my life that I'm doing? And it will go to find all the evidence to support it. So affirmations do work.
Okay.
But we've got to change it. We've got to change the way we reframe it. And trust me, it will literally, it's like hacking your subconscious. Like I love that.
I love this.
Yeah, I know.
It's so scientific.
Yeah, and there's all like literally having like a toolbox to be going, okay, this is what everyone's taught you what you must do. Because for me, Louise Elhay, literally like my queen, she taught me affirmations. So I'd be in the mirror and I'd be like, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I've got a healthy back. And then I'm going for surgery in 6 weeks because I've got degenerating disc disease. And then I'm like, you're not healthy.
Yeah.
Your back needs a lot of work. So then there was so much resistance towards it. So when you kind of reframe it and you can go, how come my back is healing every single day? That I can get behind. Because every day I could be like, this was a good day today. Yeah. I actually didn't notice that I had a bit of pain today. Brilliant. And it will start looking for the evidence to back that.
So the simple hack is the questioning and reframing behind how you would say that affirmation, not simply say it from the place of, I am safe or I am enough.
Yes.
It's the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of the women in my world will suffer maybe from imposter syndrome, or they might not feel enough, or they might not feel safe from a point of like discomfort. They don't like that feeling. Obviously, they know they're growing, but it's uncomfortable. So what would be a simple question that you could give them for maybe the growth zone or the discomfort?
Okay. The first thing I will say before we add in this question is discomfort is a part of growing and scaling a business.
Of course.
Yeah. So what I would work with a client do is go backwards. So why has discomfort felt like danger? Why does it feel like a threat? Where can we find evidence of when your first belief you took on that? So there would have been a situation, a scenario where you took on that belief that discomfort means I'm unsafe. And then what's happening, let's say it was when you were 7, because the majority of your beliefs are formed from the ages of 0 to 7. A lot can come afterwards, but that's when you're a sponge. That is when literally we hear that Father Christmas is real. That's it. We don't go, well, how is he coming down a chimney when I don't have one? I didn't have a chimney, but yet I believed he came down a chimney.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're young. So we would then have to go back into that. And then what we do is we rewire that. Because the reason how you're running your business now is from that belief. It's from that situation that was happened when you were 7. What about if we could go back to that, change what happened, change our meaning attached to it? Now you would think about discomfort very, very differently. So some people may come away from discomfort. I have trained my brain to think discomfort means I'm growing. I love it. Stretch me.
I'm expanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you feel discomfort. however much you're growing your business, however much money you're making, you're always going to feel discomfort. But isn't that, instead of looking at it as a bad thing, can we reframe that and see it as, this is actually stretching me to my next level? And that's how people quantum leap.
Yeah.
It isn't just an overnight success. It's because they stretch that. So when it happens, that becomes familiar, which is what your subconscious loves. Hence why when you're doing something, let's say your new affirmations, at first it's going to feel a bit, you're going to feel discomfort. It's a bit challenging.
Yeah.
I would say 30 days into it, it just becomes what you do.
Yeah.
And so many people say to me, Tasha, you've got the most incredible mindset. And I'm like, I've grown this mindset. It takes the work. It takes consistency. And I think so many people, because of the discomfort, they back away from it. And so many people, and I've been there, especially in 2022, I mean, you know the story, and I invested £30,000 into strategy thinking that was my answer because I was in so much discomfort and my nervous system was absolutely spiked. And what I really needed to do was rewire the belief system that I had, because the mindset work that I'd learned from the 5 years prior to that wasn't enough. The affirmations weren't kicking it. The meditations weren't shifting it. Nothing was working. I couldn't mindset my way out of how I was feeling. And then that took a massive knock-on effect to the sales I made. I was used to making 6K launches. I was barely making 6K. I remember one time I was doing the exact same strategy and I made £600. I spent £9,000 on ads. So I was in a massive deficit.
Yeah.
And it was then spiraling. And it was all because I needed to work on the subconscious. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I'm like, the strategy, listen, I love to geek out on the strategy. You know you do. But it's irrelevant if we don't work on that belief system that you've got, because that is the energy and the frequency behind everything you're doing. So I get so many clients come to me and they say, Tash, I'm doing all the things. I'm posting consistently. I'm showing up. I've got good offers. I get great results. And it's still, why am I still not at whatever the level they want to be at? And I'm like, it's because we need to work on this. So I think being able to reframe discomfort and being able to get comfortable with being uncomfortable is what's going to be the first key.
Okay.
And I think you mentioned there when you speak about worthiness, and this is just huge.
Yeah.
I've got so much to talk about this, but I think it all comes down to, we were ingrained to believe in order for us to feel worthy, it came with an equation.
Yeah.
So I was worthy of love because of this. I was worthy of praise because I got all my maths right. So for me, one of my beliefs was I had to work really, really hard. And in order for me to work really, really hard, it came with praise. That's how I got praise from my dad. You can ask me all my maths times tables, I know them off by heart, right? Because of my dad. So obviously it's a positive thing now because I'm quite good at it. But at the time, my equation was I got to work really, really hard for me to get praise. And that carried on in my relationships, that carried on in my work. And if you're not careful and have the tools to be able to reframe that, you're going to be doing everything in your business, in your life, to get that reward. And it will come from external validation, going viral, signing clients, how much money you made. And you're just waiting for someone to go, wow, that's so good. Your partner to go, well done, the business is working. We're constantly looking for that external validation when worthiness isn't something that we can gain. And I know this sounds really cliche and it took me a while to get my head around it, but it comes from within. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't feel worthy in yourself, you are going to water down your messaging. You are going to not charge. People say charge your worth. I don't like to use that because I'm like, you're not charging your worth because I couldn't afford that because I can't even put a number on it. So I couldn't even get that from my bank account to pay you. Okay. Whereas when we look at what you're offering and what you're pricing in your product suite, in your business, you're pricing for the transformation. That's what you're pricing for. That has nothing to do with you. And I think when it comes to money, it gets very tangled. It gets very intertwined. Whereas we then, again, talking from huge experience, I got so intertwined into, I felt worthy and incredible and unstoppable when I made money. When I was modeling and I bought my car and I'd drop £1,000 on Louboutins that wouldn't even touch me, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have a mortgage or anything like that. So, of course you have all that money to spare, but I felt unstoppable. And then as soon as that dipped, wow, did it hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, who am I? And you would have thought that I might have learnt that in my teens and then kind of worked on that, and it didn't. Because even back in 2022, when I wasn't hitting those big cash months, I didn't feel worthy of being with my husband. I didn't feel worthy being a good enough mum. And I was like, why do my friends want to hang out with me? All because my business wasn't hitting the months that I wanted them to hit or that they used to hit. So now I can talk from a place of, oh, it's giving me shivers.
I know, literally.
I know. I can talk from a place of, I know how low it can feel for you
Yeah.
to be basing your worthiness and who you are and your soul and what you've got to offer on how much money your business has made for the month. Not you, because we say, oh, I made this. Let's detach away from this, because once we attach to the goodness of it, oh, we made this, we then also attach to the badness. The business had a low cash month. You didn't. You're not your business.
Yeah.
So much gets intertwined. So I think learning how to detach and be aware of your emotions, because so many of us we want to hide away. Comes back to the discomfort.
Totally.
You don't want to feel those emotions because sometimes they're tough, they're challenging. It's very truth-facing.
And business is really emotional. I think when it's your business, and certainly for interior designers that I coach and mentor and see daily, they're like, but I'm so emotionally entangled with these clients and I feel so emotional towards them. And I'm like, but it's great to feel like that from a work point of view, but you're running a business. It has to be a little bit more detached.
You've got to learn to be able to hold those emotions,
Mm.
whether it's money, whether it's clients. And I had a client come to me actually, and she was really experiencing a huge amount of mum guilt. And she was like, well, how do you navigate it? And I'm like, I don't determine by the amount of mum guilt that I have what a good mum I am. I'm not a good mum because I have a heap load of mum guilt. You know, people say, oh, you're going away for work. Like, do you feel guilty? I'm like, Santiago's having the best time of his life with Nana right now. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and also it makes me the best mum. It makes me the
Of
best business owner,
course.
me the best person. So I think it comes to this yardstick, like it is with worthiness and money. It also comes with mum guilt. You're basing your value on your child and that unconditional love that you have for each other on a yardstick that is not even measurable. What? Because you experience mum guilt. So what about if we were able to eliminate that guilt so it didn't come with the heaviness and it didn't determine whether you were a good or bad mum? You're just the most incredible person, mum, business owner that there is. And we were to melt away that yardstick. I think it would change the game for so many women in business.
I absolutely love that. And you know, I never actually looked at it like that before, which is really, really interesting. I think so many of our listeners, that will resonate with them so much. I love that. So for a listener listening, and they're completely new to this world and they're completely hooked by this podcast and thinking, oh my gosh, I love what she's saying, but how do I even begin to go into this world or change my mindset or change my subconscious or look at what my Raz is doing? Or what would be an entry level toolkit that you would give to someone or say to someone that is entering into this world of reprogramming and rewiring?
Okay. I love this question.
And how long is a piece of string, by the
Well,
way?
yeah, I mean, there's tons that we could kind of go into, but I'm trying to keep it like high level and like actionable. So the method that I teach all my clients, which is the ACI method. So it's awareness, clearance, and an identity.
Okay.
So that the first step to changing anything is the awareness of it, because so many of us will be on autopilot. Some of us will say to you, how did you feel today? You'll be like, how did I feel today? Wow, I've not even had a minute to think about that.
Yeah.
And we have around 70,000 thoughts, right? And 80% of them are on repetition. So you're thinking the same things over and over again. And remember, repetition's the mother of all skill. It's what rewires your subconscious mind. It loves repetition. So what I want you to do, step one, is get really aware of how you are thinking, how you're feeling. So I would literally have either a notepad and pen or on your notes on your phone, and any thought that comes into your mind, don't analyze it, just write it down. There isn't a good or a bad thought. Okay, you need to get that out of your head.
Okay.
We don't have positive and negative emotions. You experience emotions, end of. You experience thoughts, end of. The reason why we then start to put it into pots of good and bad is how it makes you feel. And then we go into that lack loop spiral of like, I felt this, I'm thinking this, I'm a negative person, I'm procrastinating. No, you're experiencing procrastination. You're not a procrastinator, right?
Okay.
You're experiencing tiredness. You're not tired. You know, something I used to always say is like, I'm broken, like my back is just broken. Can you hear this in my words? Like your words are your wand. So you have to get so aware. Example, I don't use the word expensive, just doesn't come out of my mouth.
Premium.
Yeah, exactly. She knows. Because it's true. And sometimes I'm at the school gates and we're having chats and they'll be like, oh yeah, the uniform's really expensive. And my whole body just goes and I'm like,
I
okay.
bet you're like crawling in
Yeah.
your skin going,
And I'm like, okay, no, don't go into coach mode. And I'm like,
but go into coach
yeah.
mode.
And then literally a few glasses of champagne in. I'm like, yeah, girls. So what we don't do is we don't use the word expensive.
Let me just get my dictionary out. We don't say all of these words.
And I say it in like, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is, does it make you feel empowered when you say that? And they all go to me, absolutely not, because it feels out of reach.
Yeah.
Whereas when we change it to premium, like a Porsche, it's premium. If you wanted to buy it,
Yeah.
okay, we could.
It's a premium product.
Yeah, you either sell more in your business or you sell your house. Like there's options of where you could buy that Porsche, okay?
Yeah.
So your words are your wand. So the first step is you have to get super aware on your thoughts and your feelings, like literally write them all down. Then, of course, there's the clearance. So I would say to you, okay, what toolbox do you have, even if it's as small as it is, an activation, an exercise, some form of a toolkit that you can use that can help you rewire that? Okay, so mine, of course, is subconscious rewiring, right? That's my bag. That's what I teach. So you need something that is going to be able to rewire the thoughts and the feelings that you're experiencing, how we can shift that out. Right. And then the last stage of that is identity. This you can go into so much depth to it, but high level, what I want you to think about is what's the version of you that already has everything that you desire to have right now? So let's say you say to me, Tash, let's say it's a listener and she's growing her business. She wants to get it 6 figures. And I'm like, okay, well, that version of you, she's already at 6 figures. She's already having her offers sold out. She's already in a really beautiful, loving relationship. She's already got the children. She's traveling along the world. Like she's already there. What I want you to think about is how is she thinking and feeling? Write it down. And then what I'd love you to do is compare it. I want you to look at all your awareness of what you've been thinking, what you've been feeling. And then I want you to look at what she's saying, how she's thinking, how she's feeling. And it will become so apparent of the reason why you're not where you want to be is in this gap is because of the thoughts and the beliefs that you're experiencing. So that's why the clearance part, the shift needs to happen. We can't think our way out of this. I don't believe in the, do you swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't believe in the bullshit
Yeah.
of just think happy thoughts. What the fuck? Like, how is thinking happy thoughts going to make me rich?
Where the hell is happiness?
I mean, it's ridiculous. I hate this whole fake positivity, okay?
Yeah.
I'm about keeping it real. And I think once you are able to have that toolkit to rewire your subconscious, my normal bounce back is this energetic. The majority of the time, I'm in a great fucking mood. Life's so good. I will find the good in a bog. Like I will find and have the best freaking time in a dustbin. I will. And that's because I've grown my subconscious. My Raz is always looking for a good time. So I'm not one to be in the car and maybe Michael, my husband, will go, oh, my mum's a great one. She loves it. She goes,
oh, don't.
Oh, Jesus, the traffic. And I'm like, Mum, we're together. We're sitting in the car. We're getting to listen to music. Santiago's asleep. Like, we're living our best life. And she goes, oh, Jesus Christ.
Get me the hell home now.
Like, some people's bounce backs are different, but this all comes from retraining. I'm not magic. I'm not special. However much my mum might say I am.
You are magic.
But we can all do this. We have all of this in literally our hands.
Yeah.
We can do this. And that's why I love seeing the transformation when someone first comes to me. And it's not that they're negative Nellies. I said years ago on social, and then that was it. Everyone always goes, I feel like I'm being a bit of a negative Nelly today. And I'm like, that's okay. We can shift that. Once then you have that toolkit to do it, anything is possible because now you're starting to see everything. You're aware of your thoughts and your feelings that were holding you back before. Now you're aware of how she's thinking, which is you. That is you. That's not another person. That your higher self is you. She's just achieved everything. So in that gap, okay, how can I show up with her? How can I today show up in the energy, show up in selling, show up on my videos, show up on my reels, show up on my emails, like show up today for my audience and my business as it's already done? It's a whole different energy. You can feel that when someone walks into a room.
Yeah.
When they're sure of themselves, they've worked on their mindset, they've got that unshakable confidence. Because the majority of the time, so many rooms I've gone into, it wasn't because I had what I desired already in my actually 3D realm. Yeah. I remember when I first started my business going to events where they were making 10K months, right? They were all making that. I wasn't. So they were talking about 10K months as literally as if it was nothing. And I'm like, oh, it's the holy grail. I saw
I
global.
found
Yeah, like,
something.
ah. And the way they were thinking about it, the way they were acting, it made me show up like that. I wasn't sitting there like, oh, at first I wasn't. Then I was like, actually,
Yeah, hold on a second.
10K, actually, yeah, actually, this is quite easy. So when my clients say to me, I want to make this money, I'm like, light work, let's do it.
Yeah.
We don't need to hit, oh, that's really hard. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
So I think the way, again, who you surround yourself with is so
Oh,
important.
it is so important to be around the right tribe of women,
Mm-hmm.
what you listen to,
Mm-hmm.
what you read, even coming down to the conversations that you have with people.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a killer here. Like, I get the chopping block out. Like, if I'm not loving something, I will walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I will cull. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not dealing with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah. Bye, Felicia. Exactly. You've got to protect your energy because your
100%.
energy is the most premium thing that you can ever hold on to.
Yeah.
So if you're going to surround yourself in situations and in groups that they are not helping you grow, they're not going to, you can absolutely do this. They're not showing you what's possible.
Yeah.
Because really you want to be in groups where they're doing things and it's making your goals feel a bit small.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want someone to stretch you. When you say a goal and they go, what if we double that? And you go, what if we double that?
Yeah.
Question.
Let's bring it on.
Let's try. Let's just play this game.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens.
I love it when you say to me, let's play a game of how we're going to make 20,000 or how we're going to make 50,000. And it's the most incredible game because your mind just starts going, how can you make 50,000 this month?
Mm-hmm.
And your mind just starts tick, 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 and starts going through all these different ways. Well, it could do this, or what about this, or what about this? What is it actually doing when it's doing that?
So the neuroscience to this, and it goes back to the RAS. When you are saying to your brain, again, it comes to this pressure. When you're feeling something and you're going, you've got to make 50K this month. Are you going to want to do it? No. You're going to show up from that energy of need, of lack.
Desperation.
Right? You are.
Yeah.
People can smell that energy. And if you're saying to me, Tash, I'm showing up on Instagram, and I look at your Instagram, I'm like, yeah, but you're showing up in a needy, lack way. That's not abundant. That's not
I
attractive.
think people can feel that desperation because even like when you see like people selling events or offers and they're just like, they're putting the same stuff out there,
Mm-hmm.
they're showing up in the same energy, and you're like, you can see that you desperately want to sell this and you're not getting it over the line because actually no one's buying into the value of what you're giving because they can't see it. But it was interesting. I had Danielle on the podcast a couple of days ago, and she was saying about your energy will sell your offers before you do.
1,000,000%.
And it's so true, isn't it?
So true. You can walk into a room and not even say a word, and someone comes over to you and they go, oh my God, your energy is just everything. And you're like, I haven't even spoken. Because it's that powerful. And people think they can out strategize this. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck
Try it.
trying. You're going to end up burnt out, my love.
Yeah.
What you actually need to work on is how can we leverage this energy? And I'm not talking about you need to be the loudest person in the room.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you can have really quiet, attractive energy where someone just goes, I just want in.
Yeah.
We get the DMs.
I can feel it.
I don't even know what you're selling, but can I have in? And you're like, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the best DMs to get ever, isn't it? I remember working with a coach once and she said, I think that's actually not a positive thing. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, because they're not clear on what you're selling. I'm like, or you could see it as a really good thing that they just want in because I've worked with so many coaches because I just want in. I love their energy. I love being around them. And then you want them into your circle, of course.
Yeah.
So I think playing a game. What if we just all saw this whole thing as a game? What if business was a game? What if we didn't get stressed about algorithms and our numbers and the data? And what if we just went, money gets to be fun, business gets to be fun, serving our clients all get to be fun.
Yeah.
And I remember when we played this game the first time.
Oh yeah, that was a really good
What
game.
a game.
Last December. Oh my God. December 2024. We first started mindset work. And I did Blocks to Bank, which for all of you will be in the show notes so you can go and purchase it. It is just the most amazing tool. I loved it. And we played a little game of how much could come into the business.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most fun months in the business. the podcast hit 1,000 downloads in 152 cities, we got like a £44,000 sales month.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh my God, this shit is working. What the hell? This witchery is amazing. I absolutely loved it. And I think it was like I did a combination of tapping and blocks to bank audio.
Mhm.
And the energy and the frequency from showing up, speaking to people, it was just like whatever I touched just turned to gold.
Yeah.
The selling, I actually couldn't sell fast enough.
Mhm.
Everything was just being mopped up left, right, and
Literally.
centre.
Yeah.
And I think from there, that's when I really ramped my mindset up,
Yeah.
my mindset work up.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I think it just shows you, when some people come into this kind of whole subconscious world, you don't always have to go straight into work with a one-on-one coach if that doesn't feel aligned for you at that particular time. Why don't you test a little offer, for example, like
Yeah.
blocks to bank, or anyone who has got some audio kits. So anyone that you feel attracted to and you're like, oh, I really like their energy, I'd really like to taste their work, taste it and see.
Yeah.
And then once you get that point, I reckon the highest conversion I've had is from blocks to bank, then into my rewire program, and then from rewire people want to work one-on-one.
Yeah.
So your offers then, once you make them so valuable, and the energy behind it wasn't like, need to make blocks to bank to make money. It was like, shit, like rewire is so incredible. How can I give people a taste of what this is like with them investing themselves monetary for them to actually commit to doing it? Otherwise, the majority of people will not do free. They won't commit the way. As soon as you put a bit of money to it, people will invest. They'll show up, they'll do the work, and that's where they're going to get the results. So I think just around that, once you then see the game of what this is, okay, and that doesn't mean you don't look at your numbers, and it doesn't mean that you don't plan out your offers and have strategy. But if your main focus is play and it's fun and it's lightness, I promise you'll make the most money you've ever made.
Yeah.
And then now what you made in December, you now make in 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
just a really fun game, isn't it?
What a game.
It is the best.
Yeah.
So for something really simplistic, so a blocks to bank audio would be a great place to start.
Yes.
And is there anything you would say through breathing or saying anything, any other small, tiny little toolkits that you could give?
Yeah, I think breath work is really, really important. And it's that pause between you experiencing an emotion. Okay. So let's say you've got some anxiety, you've just had an invoice come through, it's an unexpected invoice, and instantly your known pattern is to go into panic, anxiety. Oh my fucking God, right?
Yeah.
Instead of experiencing that, what I want you to do is literally just press pause, okay? Just literally just stop. Don't do anything. Don't react to the message. Don't react to the invoice, nothing. Just stop. And if you can do something that can break the state, that's what we want to do. So you just stop.
Change your state.
That's what we need to do, because right now your nervous system is going to fight-flight mode, and it wants to go into survival mode. It thinks a saber-toothed tiger is chasing your ass. That's what it thinks. It doesn't understand, nor can it comprehend it's an invoice. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've got the money in the bank account, or I don't, but I've got a way means
that feeling that you feel inside, which is just that like petrified, horrible, anxious, knotty feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then when we're experiencing that, and when you take action from that state, you can't access logic. You can't access strategy or creativity. It's like all the blood from your brain drains down to your legs to make you run faster, and to your jaw to make you bite harder. Because years ago, when we were cavewomen and cavemen, we would need that. That's what happens when we needed survival mode to kick in. We don't need that to pay an invoice. So I just want you to pause for a moment and just I call it the box breath. So you breathe in for 4. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So that instantly will just regulate yourself, okay? So you'll come away from the survival mode of the invoice, and it will just center you back in. Then what I want you to do is, if you're a music lover, go blare some tunes, right? Or stand up and like physically, violently shake your body, okay? Violently shake it. And then go outside, clear your head, whatever it may be. And then when you come back into the office, or you're coming back and you're ready to deal with this, I want you to say this: I thought it had me.
I thought it had me.
Now I have it.
Now I have it.
That is like Let's pretend your subconscious is speaking Spanish, and let's say you don't speak Spanish, okay? So your subconscious and your conscious part of your brain are trying to speak and communicate, but they can't 'cause neither of them understand each other. When we speak to the subconscious in the subconscious language, it gets it. Instantly, from you doing that breath work, from you changing your state, and from you seeing that simple statement, your brain then goes, it's safe. No action needs to be taken. The blood can come back up to my brain. I can then access logic, creativity, joy, strategy. And then you can go and execute that strategy and be like, okay, I just need to pay the invoice. I just need to transfer it. Or put it on my Amex and I'll pay it next month. Get the points.
So
And I got the
that's saying
cash.
again,
I thought it had me.
I thought it had me.
Now I have it.
Now I have it.
Yes. And we're talking about that belief. We're talking about the thought. You're detaching away from, I feel this, I'm experiencing this. You're detaching it away. Like I mentioned, you have thoughts, you experience emotions, but they're not you.
Okay.
Just as you're not happiness, you're also not sad. They're emotions that we experience. And an emotion will only normally last 5 seconds. Think about the last thing that made you really happy.
Oh gosh, there's so many thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how long did it last?
Yeah.
That the immediate
Yeah.
experience was probably
Yeah.
about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it is with sadness. But what happens with happiness, we experience it, we get the rush, the Stripe account comes through and you hit it. You're not feeling like this all day. The Stripe account's not hitting endorphins all day, like it cuts down. But that's because we experience sensations of emotions all day, every day. What happens while the sadness stays or the anxiety stays, it becomes known. And your subconscious loves anything known, so it'll keep hold of it and be like, oh yes, this is a known feeling. We know what to do here. Panic, anxiety.
Yeah.
Then we start going into, for example, one of my patterns would be a pity party. See, this never works out. It's really hard for me. It's because I need to work harder.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen for me. You go into that.
Yeah.
So that's just like a simple little exercise that I want you to do to just get, again, the awareness around what you're experiencing, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how we can change it.
So it's the breath work. It's the reframing and asking questions and the simple statement of, I thought it had me.
Yeah.
But
now I have it.
Yeah.
So we're taking back that control. I want you to imagine it as if me and you are going for a nice bougie dinner, right? And we go to the types of restaurants where we have a lot of cutlery. Okay.
Love a lot.
And then the waiter comes over and they say, what would you like to drink? And I'm like, I'll have a glass of champagne.
And I will have a Whispering Angel rosé.
Wonderful. Okay. And he's like, perfect. So we carry on chatting. We're not sitting here going, is he bringing the verve? Do you think he heard that you wanted Whispering Angel and not another rosé? We're not. We're just like, yeah, fine. So then he comes over and he's hot, by the way. So when he comes over, we're a bit like, hi. And he's bringing over more cutlery. And we look at each other and we go, we don't need more cutlery. No, we've got so much cutlery. Like, what on earth is going on here? And you're like, well, I can't say. And I'm like, well, I don't want to say. This is really awkward. And he goes, more cutlery. And then you go, get your big boy pants on. And you remember Natasha teach you subconscious rewiring. And then you go, it's okay, thank you. I have enough. And then he smiles at it and he goes, okay. He walks away. Exactly like that hot waiter, I want you to experience it with thoughts. You get to determine whether you take that thought on or not.
Okay.
Because we have so many thoughts. I just want you to see them as just that clouds. It's the ones that we then take on and we make it mean something about us and we go down this.
And we let them infiltrate our system.
Yeah. And then the whole day, you're then coming from the place, your brain is coming from the place of that thought, that memory, that emotion that happened probably years ago, but we're still navigating our life and business from it. So I want you to pretend that that thought is like the hot waiter. And you just get to give that statement. You're saying, it's okay. It's not necessary.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't need it right now.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
No action needs to be taken.
No action needs to be taken.
It's not necessary. And then your brain your brain then signifies to your body, I can relax and it's fine. And then we're not in survival mode. And then we can access the logic to go, actually, yeah. Okay. So what are we doing? Let's think about our next plan. Or you had this idea and you have a download. Do you ever have downloads when you're stressed or no, it never happens. You have the downloads when you're in the bath, on the shower and you're relaxed. You go for a nice walk in nature. That's when it happens.
Yeah. I love this. I could talk all day about the subconscious and the mindset and the reprogramming. It's one of my favorite topics. But before we wrap up, what would your last fleeting leaving thought for our listeners be to give them to go into 2026 for them, their businesses, themselves?
I would say that anything is possible.
Absolutely.
And once you have that belief, even if it's a small belief at the start and we grow it and we grow it and we grow it, because I won't let you leave my world unless we've grown that belief where you think you're just unshakable, right? Anything is possible. And just as we said at the start of this episode, when we said, look what had changed in a year.
Yeah.
Could you imagine yourself from a year from now? So whoever's listening to this, and you've got your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, your intentions written down on a piece of paper. And if you want to do your vision boards, obviously come to Lisa's event, which is going to be incredible. So really kind of get clear on what it is that you want. And then I want you to be taking the action every single day, every week, and every month. Show up as if it's done. Show up in that energy as if every single goal of yours is already achieved. You're already making the money, you've bought the place in Spain, like whatever your goals are. Show up in that energy every single day. And I think you will truly surprise yourself.
I love that. And I think for me, this has been one of the biggest transformative years of my life and my business in what I set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And from the conversations that we had last December to now,
Wow.
it's just been completely life changing.
Mm.
And I remember it all with all my mindset work started with Blocks to Bank, which was phenomenal. So if you are listening and you would like to get a copy of Blocks to Bank, Natasha's really powerful audio, which, by the way, we put on every single night, me and my husband, and and we laugh about this because I always say, "You ready to get into bed with Natasha tonight?" And he loved it. Actually helped his mindset as well, which was really good. But if you want to get hold of a copy, then a link is going to be in the show notes. You can also come and experience Natasha's magic in our retreat in May 2026 on the gorgeous White Isle of Ibiza, where we're going to be hosting a beautiful retreat. There are 5 exclusive day passes. And if you want to work on your visions and goals, then Friday the 9th and Saturday the 10th of January at the visionary event where strategy meets soul in Birmingham. There are 18 exclusive tickets. So for today's podcast, thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure.
Oh, I
Loved
loved it. It's been amazing. And have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Thanks. And I will be back tomorrow with another powerful podcast.